welcome to another edition of the Sportsport. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sportsport. I am your interim host and producer for the day, Tony, dude. And we got a solo Tony in the studio today on this glorious Monday. A lot to get to, a lot to recap. Stoked to have everyone in here with me, dudes. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Like I said, a lot to get to. Mets, Yankees, sports-wise. On this crazy Monday, this beautiful Monday, by the way. Gorgeous weather, dude. I can feel it. Fall's in the air. Okay, dude. School's in session. College is back. August is in the rearview mirror right now. Okay. Before you know it, there'll be like some fireside blankets at night with some sweet hoodies on, gazing at the stars, the cool fall breeze in the night. Then it'll be snowing. And then it'll be pretty sweet, dude. But in any case, we have a great show, like I said, for you guys here today. We do have a couple of comments to get off the schneid here. Carlton Best setting his alarm, clocking in. Tony, love the work ethic, he says. And he says, ask Barnaby if the Yanks played this weekend. I actually totally forgot, Carlton, because we were talking about it yesterday. Obviously, Carlton, Red Sox fan. Brian, Yankees fan. Brian's still on vacation, actually. He's still in California. Obviously, I would imagine someone having a spoiled weekend. But I don't know, because he's California with the girlfriend. He's got the beaches, the restaurants. I'm sure the great weather there also. I am curious to hear, and I'm sure he's kind of detached, not really necessarily tuning into sports radio, probably not getting so much slack from his buddies that aren't Yankee fans, and obviously missing the show today. I mean, I'm sure if he was here, he'd be pretty freaking devastated. Speaking of devastated, Kev Dew says, let's go. We want the smoke. Mets take 2. You're damn right, dude. A big 2, by the way, against the Braves. I know yesterday, salty taste in your mouth. Sunday, you'll lose. You kind of blew it a little bit. But we'll get to that. Nonetheless, I mean, I feel like any series against the Braves, especially down in Atlanta, take 2 out of 3. I mean, you should be stoked about that. And we'll get into the kind of, where they stand in terms of the division, the wild card, and obviously the series coming up. He goes, I won't be like Yankee fans. Mets got a lot of work to do for the playoffs. No doubt about that. Kind of good not to hear Yankee shit out of Brian. I will say, I'm sure Brian today, probably would have been a little bit somber. Somber is probably the word I'm looking for here. But you're not wrong, Kev. I mean, I think there's still a lot left to be desired with the Mets. Lineup holes right now. Nimmo, the injury seems to be on the cusp of coming back, but nonetheless, I mean, starting rotations, a big question mark. And I guess we'll see what happens because the Mets may have some prospects come up. I've read some reports that you can expect to see some, start in September. So that's pretty sweet. He would be pouting, no doubt about that. I mean, wouldn't you? Not for nothing. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say biggest series of the year, but obviously it's the rivalry. You're in the Bronx. It's like, there's playoff implications here for both teams. So yeah, I mean, I think those first 2 games were pretty tough, dude. I mean, the amount of runs given up, the lack of offensive production on your end, and obviously, you take one yesterday, you feel good about it for sure. I would say the good news for the Yankees is that they're hosting the Nationals now, right? Today, I believe today starts a 3-game set against the Nationals. And you would imagine, I haven't looked at the pitching matchups, but I mean, Yankees this entire season are good at beating up on the bad teams, right? The bad pitchers they face, they tend to get to them early. So, I mean, you're kind of looking down the barrel of a 3-game sweep for the Nationals here, which, like I said, is probably the only bright side right now looking forward. But nonetheless, we'll get to some baseball. We'll get to more comments. We're all the Yankee fans that are usually in here talking shit, says Kev Dew. Kev Dew, instigating. I can take it. Although I will say, I mean, normally, I would hear by now Bukta, Josh B, Ernie. But speaking of which, Kev Dew, while you're in here, the softball this weekend, dude. Looked like a lot of fun, dude. The Wolf Pack, awesome. I saw the photo with Debbie. I haven't heard of like an outcome. I don't know how you guys did. So let me know in the comments. And obviously, we, like I said before, we're gonna be getting into a lot of sports from the weekend. Maybe Carlton's here, maybe a little Fairfield soccer action because I worked a game yesterday. I don't know what Vermont was doing, dude, but I don't think they have. To put it nicely, I just don't think they have the, the school backing for their program. I don't know. They just, I know we're kind of getting off of the beaten path here with collegiate women's soccer here, and I know he told me Fairfield won the MAC last season, favorites possibly, whatever. But boy, Vermont has got to pick it up, I think, dude. And they brought in, oh my God, I felt so bad because at halftime they brought in this new goalie and she gave up a goal like within the first 45 seconds of the second half. And just never stood a chance, dude. It's sad. It was tough. Fairfield, a lot of time of possession. Stags look good, Carlton says. Hat trick for Maddie. Yes, good call. I don't know if that was your call, play to watch, but that was her, the hat trick. So that was cool. I hope she didn't break her ankle or anything. She looks fine. I'm sure she'll be back out there next game. But nonetheless, I did want to start off with a little bit of PGA, dude. Because for the first time, Joey Greenwood, it's not your table, Tony. Ha ha ha, Joey. And then Kev Dew for the softball, mad fun. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. He says we got beat. Wow, they played teams that play in league. And it's more about the charity and the fun. Classic. I don't care about the outcome because we're not good enough. Fun. That's good, Kev Dew. I'm glad you had a good time. Glad nobody got hurt. I mean, we've seen some of these old timer games. People tear Achilles and stuff like that. So I'm glad everyone is fine there. But like I was saying, a little bit of PGA here. We do have the Tour Championship, who's won by, and shout out to Brian, by the way, and a big applause, obviously, to the winner because he's getting over the hump. Okay, dude. So we're gonna get a little applause going. Let's give it up for Tommy Fleetwood, baby. Okay. He wins your Tour Championship yesterday, closing out. I think his final round, I forget what he shot, maybe a 69, but he finishes at 18 under, 3-shot victory for Tommy Fleetwood. I think Cantlay, and was it Henley? I forget who. Let me look it up here. I tried to remember. Yes, it was Henley and Cantlay tied for second at 15 under, but Fleetwood, your outright championship at 18 under. First PGA Tour victory for the Englishman. And I had this stat pulled up. Hold on. Obviously, took home the dub, took home $10 million. You got to feel extra good about yourself. Big old payday, dude, which is pretty awesome. And then on top of that, dude, he broke a streak, okay, dude, that was haunting him. All right. He had the most top 3 finishes in the PGA since 1983 at 12 without getting a victory. Obviously, now snapping that, I guess, bad luck streak, I suppose. Now it belongs to Colin Montgomery at 10. But Fleetwood, cracking the egg there. Getting off the schneid, monkey off the back. Who knows? Sky's the limit now at this point, dude. The floodgates are open. The dam has been broken. But it was cool to see, obviously, like I said, kudos to Brian, too. That was his pick for the Tour Championship. And, I mean, he was obviously talking about exactly that Fleetwood, the top 3 finishes, never able to really just close out some blow-up spots. Obviously, like the question, is it ever going to happen? Can he really etch his name into the history of PGA? But you know what, dude? I think that's, for me, honestly, I think that's like such the coolest thing about the PGA, about golf really in general, because it's such a crazy sport and so hard to play that you could be that guy who never wins, okay? But all it takes is just this one, okay? Everyone's going to remember now, 2025 Tour Championship, Tommy Fleetwood winning. And he's going to remember it for his entire life, for his career, you know? And $10 million, like, that's pretty sweet. You just won $10 million. Like, probably one of the biggest payouts of the season, I would imagine, right? I mean, I can look this up here. But let's see. Highest paid tournament in PGA. The highest tournament on the PGA is not a single event, but the FedEx Cup playoffs. Shut up. Players Championship is the highest paid PGA Tour event with a purchase $25 million and the winner's share of $4.5 million in 2025. I guess that's probably the largest purse. And it says here the highest paying $25 million. FedEx Cup distributes a portion of a larger $100 million pool with many players earning significant bonuses. I mean, like, what the hell, dude? How is it the Tour Championship have the highest payout for the winner? Not the biggest purse, but the payout for the winner. Yes, dude. Okay. Tour Championship offers the richest individual prize fund in golf history. The winner earning $10 million from a $40 million purse, making it the highest payout for a tournament winner on the PGA Tour. This is a change from previous years where the entire $100 million of the FedEx Cup bonus was distributed based on the finish at the Tour Championship, leading to much larger win prizes. It's not the same anymore. So Tommy Fleetwood, dude, $10 million. Something to sneeze at there. All right. I wouldn't mind that right now. My lap. Jay Bird, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you, Jay. But yeah, guys, so that was pretty cool. Fleetwood, the golf. I guess since we're at the leaderboard already, we can go down the line here. I mentioned Henley and Cantlay tied for second. You had a three-way tie for fourth. All at 14 under, you had Corey Connors, Scotty Scheffler, as well as Cameron Young. Scotty Scheffler, I believe, had the no, actually, that was Russell Henley. Sorry, Russell Henley had the event low. I guess the lowest round, 61. Scott Scheffler, second lowest round at 63. But nonetheless, they're tied for seventh. Justin Thomas, Sam Burns, Keegan Bradley, all at 13 under, and then a two-way tie for 10th. Ben Griffin, Chris Scott up at 12 under. Hovland just on the outside of the top 10, finishing 12th, outright at 11 under. And then a four-way tie for 13th, which would probably involve your 13th, 14th, and 15th. But you had Harman, Harris English, Ashke Bahatia, and Shane Lowry all tied for 13th. Bob McIntyre started out with a 64 in round one, a 66 in round two. Seemed like he was going to be on the cusp of getting that revenge spot like I wanted him to. But I think a 70 in round three, 72 in round three kind of put him out of contention. He finishes tied for 17th. Some other notables here. Obviously, here everyone makes the cut, but Aubert and Rory are outside the top 20. Aubert here tied for 21st. Rory McIlroy tied for 23rd. Rory, not a great tournament. Even par, I guess, in his last round there. 66, 67, 71, and 70. Not good enough. Sepp Straka, who blew up with that 74 in round one, continued to blow up. He scored a 77 in round three, 7 over. Obviously, there's no cut here, but that was basically your tour championship there. Again, congrats to Tommy Fleetwood. Definitely earned it. That is for sure. Phone lines, by the way, red hot and open for you guys. 646-285-1259. Call in, talk about any sports you want. The PGA, MLB, obviously football is at what, like a week away, 10 days away, right? Because Thursday's the first day. Figure it out. Kind of hate how they do Thursday for the first day of NFL, but that's just my opinion. Should start on a Sunday. I don't know why they do that, right? Like, why wouldn't they just do a fucking, like, screw the Thursday game, just add it to Sunday? Extra purchase on Sunday, okay? NFL Sunday +1, all right? It's really what they should do, in my opinion. Just because I don't know. For me, it just doesn't really feel like the season really starts on a Thursday. A standalone game, I guess, is kind of cool, but it's like, I don't know.
I want the Sunday to be the first day. That's just my opinion, dude. I think it'll get the juices going. Like I said, just add the Thursday game. It doesn't really matter, dude. All right, just figure it out. NFL, I'm sure we'll be having NFL. Yeah, why not on Monday? I guess Monday technically, but technically Thursday, Sunday's the first day of the week. Thursday's not even the first day of the week. Sunday's see, it's even more so, honestly. Now it's kind of pissing me off, I'm not gonna lie, because it really should be Sunday. Because it's like I said, the first day of the week, then Monday, and then Thursday, and then you can get into it. But, you know, who am I, dude? I'm not a commissioner. I'm not really anything at all. Josh B, speaking of nothing, says, yo, what up, fam? What up, Josh B? Heard you had a great time at the
nothing.
Great time at the softball, dude. Honestly, wasn't even on my radar. I felt bad. Could have been there. Could not have been there, actually. This was Saturday, Porch Fest. That was awesome. Live bands, great job. City of Black Rock, town of Black Rock. I don't know. They do an all right job though. The porta potties and the trash cans and stuff. Solo Tony says that's right, Josh B. Solo Tony here on this Monday. You'll probably have a Solo Tony tomorrow as well. And I don't know if Brian's back on Wednesday. Probably not. Probably back on Thursday. So yeah, dude, you better get your fill, get your fix. You are gonna get it, and we are gonna go to the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it, Tony. Yep. And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Throw deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right.
Play ball.
Good weekend, I would say. I know I'm kind of like what am I even doing here right now? But I would say good weekend here for baseball. We'll start obviously with the Mets here, because I mean, there's nobody else here. So Mets taking 2 out of 3 against the Braves here. You look at the standings here. You do gain a game on the Reds. Game and a half lead now for that final wild card spot. The Phillies, though, do enhance their lead. 7 games now is the divisional lead for them. As you walk into this 3-game set, I believe at home. No, I think you're in Philadelphia. Let's just double check here. No, you're at home. Wow, dude. So there's another series where both the Mets and the Yankees are at home. That's pretty sweet. Get that twice this year now. That's pretty wild. I didn't realize that. But in any case, we'll get to the Phillies, obviously game tonight, whatever. But on the weekend, like I said, I mean, you're not – Kev Dew said it earlier too. Mets still have a lot of work to do. There's a lot to be desired here from everyone, even management, because I think with Nimmo being out, I mean, obviously it does put Mendoza in a tough position, managerial from a manager's perspective. And it's like, I don't know, yesterday, you think of some of the defensive woes you had. I mean, Beatty, unable to come down with a line out, which was catchable at second base. Would McNeil make that catch? I don't know, but he's playing in the outfield, because of Nimmo, obviously, and also because of Nimmo, you have to use Taylor as well at some point, so you kind of have, we're forced to, obviously you have Cedric Mullins here in center field. He's not coming up with certain plays. Second time, by the way, with yesterday that I've seen Cedric Mullins just not make a play in the outfield that I feel like Taylor probably would have made, or really anyone else, I guess. Which is, it's kind of tough, dude, because Mullins, I mean, I don't know. It's I have some hopes for Cedric Mullins right now, but again, I mean, you do take a step back defensively compared to Taylor, and it's crazy because of how bad Cedric Mullins' bat has been. It's been like arguably, this is very arguably arguable, better than what Taylor would be probably producing. But the fact of the matter is, I believe during this series against the Braves, Mullins went 4 for 7 with a homer and 2 stolen bags. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, yo, like, this is it for this is the time. Okay. Do I want it to be the time? I do want it to be the time. Does it feel like it could be kind of maybe a moment where he turns the corner and comes back to somewhat of what he was looking like with the Orioles last season? Again, I mean, before the deadline, I think he had 12, 15 homers with 30 RBIs or something. I got to look this up now. Cedric Mullins. Bang, bang. Where's my pencil? Where the hell is my pencil, dude? So I was gonna write this down, dude. All right, so let's go stats here. Who are you talking to? I'm talking to you, dude. So 15 home runs, 49 ribbies coming over from Baltimore. And obviously the production since then has been all for naught. There's been 6 ribbies, 1 dinger. I feel like they don't have yesterday's game in there because it should be 2 dingers. But in any case, dude, it just I don't know. It just seems like that Mullins here. I'm trying to see what the fudge, dude. Like for the Mets here, stats. Sometimes Baseball Reference a little slow in the morning, dude. I guess maybe ESPN too. Dude, I could have sworn that he had a home run before, dude. Everyone just stand by right now. I mean, you can tell me in the comments, actually. I guess maybe I'm thinking of the triple. No, I am mistaken, dude. I guess he had that 2-run triple. That's what I'm thinking of. Shut the fuck up. So regardless, 4 for 7, big triple, couple ribbies, 2 stolen bags. I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel like for me, it would be nice. September comes around. There's a few big series, and you think of the Mets last season. I mean, obviously the fight for the wild card spot, the series coming down on the wire against the Braves, against the Phillies in September, late August. Those are the moments where you kind of saw like that. That's where Vientos really started to shine. That's where Lindor, started to shine a lot too. Obviously Alonso heating up, going into the Brewers series, the big home run against Williams. Like we see what this can lead to, even seeing McNeil have a homer, a couple homers. But I mean, that guy hasn't really been an impact player, I feel like, all year, in my opinion. Again, some good plays defensively, obviously had some injuries, some good, at bats, I guess. But I mean, this weekend was the first time you saw him do any damage, I feel, in terms of, putting some numbers, some runs up on the scoreboard. But yeah, I mean, it was dope. You to see, what was it? Alonso and Vientos go back to back. Speaking of Vientos, another guy heating up here. I have in my notes here. This series, obviously, he's not obviously, but this series he has 3 homers. 1 yesterday, 2 on Saturday. So 3 homers in 3 games. It seems like maybe potentially you're getting a Mark Vientos right now. That is somewhat resembling what you saw this time last year. And I mean, it really couldn't come at I guess you could say a better time, a worse time. I mean, obviously you would want that production all year long. You'd want that even if it were to come now. Maybe the Mets are in a position where they're in the lead of the division, or even, close to leading the division. I guess you can say this is like, it just couldn't have come any sooner, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I'm happy that Vientos is doing well, and I'm happy that Mullins is starting to heat up. I'm happy that you're seeing some good offense, from the Mets lineup. Like I said, though, there's still a lot to be desired. I mean, you look at some of the, I guess the pitching really at this point is still probably the biggest question mark. I mean, I know offense has been kind of somewhat of a flip of a coin, it seems. Alonso didn't really necessarily have a great series. He didn't have a great series before this either against Washington. Neither did Soto against Washington. But, like last night, Alonso was 0 for 5. And I know it's like, DH position, he's not playing the field, whatever. But, like, you still want to be a bigger impact player, especially in games like that, where again, like Nimmo out of the lineup, people kind of forget, and people I feel like toss him to the side. I know he's not having the year you want him to, but I think he had like 5 hits in like 3 games before he got injured, which was kind of unfortunate. The neck, but again, it seems like he's going to be back, turn around. Hopefully, he can come back, be an impact player, leading off, 2-hole, wherever they put him in the lineup. But it just sucks. Not having the sweep against the Braves too, because on the road trip you end up going 3-3. Obviously, 4-2 sounds a lot better, especially dropping 2 against the Nationals. I mean, you were hoping for like a 5-1, 4-2 at least spot. You set up for 3-3, 3-3, I guess, in those 6 games on the road. Now you're back home, Phillies. And I mean, not for nothing. I mean, you don't really feel great about that. Like I said, Phillies, did they have the Nationals this weekend? They must have had the Nationals this weekend. Are the Nationals? Oh, yeah, right. Let's look it up. Philadelphia, born and raised. They did. They took 2 out of 3 from the Nationals. They have won 5 out of their last 6. 6 out of their last 7. 7 out of their last 8. They're humming a little bit, dude. 76 wins. That's fucking good, dude. They're really coming into their stride right now, as it seems, coming into Citi Field, dude. And I mean, you look at this pitching matchup, and I mean, you're not stoked, dude. You're not stoked at all about this pitching matchup. Because you get Kodai Senga on the mound here, who's been anything but consistent, anything but good, in my opinion. And he's on 5 days rest, where he's obviously been getting 6 days rest all year long. So again, I mean, there just seems to be a lot to be desired here. The only thing maybe you want to lean into is that Sanchez potentially doesn't have a great start. I mean, but he's been great all year long. He's been great in his 5 starts, his last 5 starts. The only thing you can maybe argue is that some of his numbers, I got his stats here specifically against the Mets. I mean, I think he's like top 15 in ERA for starters this year. But I mean, you're looking at his ERA right now, dude, I guess, a career since 2022, he has a 3.89 ERA against the Mets, 39 and a third innings pitched, 15 walks, but 43 strikeouts. So efficient there. Only 5 homers given up. I guess he did have a tough outing this year against them. It looks like he had he started a game, only pitched 2 innings though, gave up 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 Ks. And then I guess got pulled. I don't know what the deal was there. Injury, preemptive, doesn't really matter. But again, the career 3.89 ERA does, kind of factor in the 9 ERA he has this year over 2 innings. But you think of last season where he, had 3 starts, 6 earned runs, 19 strikeouts. I mean, that's pretty good. That's really good. It's a 3 ERA over 3 starts last year. Obviously, maybe a little bit of a different lineup he's looking at here with Soto. I don't know if he, has much experience against Juan Soto. I would imagine maybe potentially with him. Well, actually, no, maybe not, because 2022. Well, I don't know. Who knows? I guess I can look that up. But regardless, it doesn't really matter anyway, because you need more than just Juan Soto to beat the Phillies here. Because you'd imagine Senga. I mean, I don't know. My hopes is that Senga can kind of come out. And like, I to be realistic, I mean, I could see him giving up like a solo home run or 2-run home run in the first inning, settling down, ending up going 5 2/3, 3 earned runs. And that's like, I mean, I would consider that to be a victory for him, which is kind of sad. But I don't know, man. It just seems like that more and more teams that face a forkball can kind of like adjust to it. Phillies have good hitters, obviously. And then once Senga doesn't locate, he gets in trouble with the walks. All of a sudden, he walks himself into a tough situation, and then he has to get out of it. And he also gives up hits, because he'll be forced to throw a fastball over the plate or a forkball that just doesn't move. And then it's trouble for Senga. So I don't know, man. I mean, I would imagine that you're gonna have to rely a lot on offense for this victory here if they do want the victory. And again, hopefully, maybe you can get to Christopher Sanchez, earlier on. But I mean, it's tough, dude. You're gonna need something big here. You're gonna need it's gonna be a one big inning. I feel like is it gonna have to be like a sixth inning later in the game? I can see Sanchez here just maybe third time through the rotation, getting into some trouble. Maybe you'll see like a Beatty or even like a Torrens or a Taylor even. Because you know what? Tyrone Taylor, dude, 4 hits in his last 2 starts. Okay. That was the first 2 games against the Braves, obviously, sans Nimmo. So maybe the Mets can bring some of that energy. So Taylor can bring some of that momentum into today. Maybe since he's batting in the 9th hole or the 8th spot, he leads off an inning, gets on with a leadoff double, and then Lindor's up, leading off the lineup. He hits a 2-run blast. All of a sudden, Sanchez, 6th inning, looking kind of tough. But they're like, hey, man, he's good. 2-run homer. Who cares? Let's try to get him through the rest of the inning. There's already 1 out. He can do it, dude. And then here it comes, dude, in the 7th, it's going to be Alonso, Soto, Vientos, all hot. And then maybe Marte cleans up. Who knows, dude? But that's what I'm kind of envisioning to get in the dub here today. Because correct me if I'm wrong here. I know in September, I'm pretty sure the Mets have a 4-game set against Philadelphia. But if you want any shot at the division, I mean, you got to take 2 out of 3 against the Phillies now. And then probably 3 out of 4 against the Phillies then in the 4-game set, because being 7 games back now at kind of the cusp of September here isn't great. So hopefully they can pull it off. Like I said, that would be a game plan here. Okay. Just try and be patient to play for the first 4 or 5 innings. Let Sanchez pitch. All right, dude. Maybe you can, find him making a mistake over the middle of the plate. Maybe you can gain a solo home run then. You have some talented hitters there. Again, Vientos, the home runs right now are coming in bunches. That's great. Soto had an impressive home run this weekend too. The Mets homered 6 times on Saturday, actually. 2nd time this year that they did that. So it just seems that the offense is just heating up at the right time. I know yesterday maybe it was a little bit lackluster, but again, I mean, someone's got to come back down to earth every so often. Then you pick it back up here today. Because you need to. Hopefully you just, shake off Sunday, because I think you're in the middle of like a 16 games in a row, which is pretty crazy. Riley Souza in the house. Socks, he says. Boots on the ground. I saw his story last night at the stadium. Made lots of friends. I don't know if you're being sarcastic or if that's possible. I would imagine there were probably a good amount of Red Sox fans, to be honest. Their enemy territory, dude. Behind enemy lines, covert ops, Rogue, Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise. I could see Riley picking up, Ethan Hunt's character where Tom Cruise is retiring. They're both kind of short. Riley's like, you can figure it out, Riley says, I am not being facetious. He was being honest. The Friends, dude. That's great, dude. I'm glad you had a good time. Obviously, probably maybe one of the better nights, I guess, in terms of Yankee reactions, because, getting the win to kind of, I guess, figuring it out. And he goes, I went to school in CT. I know how to tame them, dude. Wow. The Sox fans, Riley, we had Carlton in here earlier, really out in full swing, I guess. Rightfully so. I mean, obviously the Red Sox here, they have a half game lead, I think, on the Yankees. And obviously for the number 1 wild card spot out of the AL. So, you have, I guess, a little bit of a bragging right, I suppose. I mean, obviously a lot of it is going to come down to wild card series, postseason, how you two see each other, I guess. But, in terms of this season, I mean, the Red Sox have had the Yankees number, it seems, all year long. So I would imagine, Red Sox, Roman Anthony, obviously some of the good pitching you had. That other dude, what's his name? The password, right? That young guy with the crazy name. A lot to look forward to. I would imagine most of them would have confidence in facing the Yankees and knocking them out of the postseason is what I would think. But I guess we can get the Yankees. And again, I mean, phone lines open. I know we have a lot of Yankee fans and apparently Red Sox around as well. I didn't catch a lot of the Yankee games, really more so about just kind of like here and there, social media, whatever. But the 4-game set did not go the way you wanted. You lose, you drop 3 out of 4 here. You get outscored pretty heavily. I know obviously you score 7 yesterday. Rodon pitches well, gets the dub. He's 14-7 now in the year. So speaking of confidence, I mean, I feel like I have more confidence in Rodon more so now than any other year for the Yankees, I would say, which I guess isn't a lot, but nonetheless, dude, I feel much better about him than I did in previous years, which is good. I guess it doesn't really say a ton, but still is good. But you lose Thursday 6-3. We did that already. Friday, you lost 1-0. Bayo looking like Satchel Paige out there. Chapman, another save, 24th of the year against the Yankees, 1-0. I mean, you would imagine then with the Chapman save, you would just feel like, oh, like down to blow it, due to blow it. It's Chapman. Give up 1 home run. No, you lose 1-0, and then you get pounded 12-1 on Saturday. Matthew Gabriel in attendance with the father, 70th birthday coming up. 12-1 loss, dude. Not good. Crochet, Satchel Paige, no offense. You scored 4 runs in 3 games, 1 run in 2 games against them, and then obviously the big 7 spot yesterday. And I think I forget because I was looking it up. I saw some tweet about it. But Aaron Judge not having a good series against the Red Sox here. Very, very quiet. In a series where your offense was lackluster. And, I know we talked about, Stanton being a great facilitator of offense since he's been back from injury. Obviously you have, your other guys, Jazz who show some offense, Bellinger, even Volpe at times, he hits home runs in bunches. But, I said this before, and even Brian has talked about it. A lot of this lineup, rightfully so, does start and stop with Aaron Judge. And I mean, when he does not do well, it doesn't really seem like anybody else does. And you guys don't score runs. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, again, I'm sure, yes, it's like, Judge, best player, AL MVP, probably not. Cal Raleigh, most home runs as a catcher. Regardless, though, I know, like, you really can't hold a candle to Judge in terms of the rest of the lineup, the effect he has on the team and stuff like that. But I think there's more pressure now, more than ever, on Judge. I mean, to perform, to get the Yankees to solidify a wild card spot, to perform in the postseason. I mean, I feel like, the Yankees get a wild card spot, and if they, I mean, it doesn't even matter. Even if they advance from the wild card, okay? It's just you're going to need Judge to have a good postseason. You just need it. And if you get knocked out during the wild card, if you advance, if you even go to the championship series, get knocked out, and he doesn't have a good series, doesn't have a good postseason, I mean, I don't know. I think there's going to be, as there was already this season, more of a question in terms of can he be that guy in the postseason? Which again, I don't think. I mean, it's tough because, like I said, right now, like that series against the Red Sox, I mean, it's postseason-esque, and he wasn't necessarily showing up for it. So I don't know. I'd be curious to hear what Yankee fans think of that, of how he did against the Red Sox this past season, what you anticipate him doing. Again, like I said before, too, I mean, I think the bright spot you have here on a Monday morning is the fact that you do have a series against the Nationals, who, like, regardless of some of the signs of life they showed this season, taking 2 out of 3 against the Mets, it should be a fucking sweep, dude. And of all the fucking people that had to call in, dudes, Matthew Ryan. God damn it, Matthew Ryan. No, it's all right, Matt. Take it easy, dudes. I'm patching you through. All right, Matt Ryan, what do you got, dude? You're live on the Sportsport. Good morning. Keep it simple.
What do you think about I just want to. The Yankees win was a great win last night. I loved it. 7-2.
Uh-huh.
But I loved the Yankees win. That was a great win last night.
No, it was. It was a good bounce back win. That's what you needed to kind of, pull yourself out of that rut. I mean, you were in since Thursday, so it kind of did feel like a big turnaround spot. You leveled the ship, I guess, a little bit. But like I was saying, I mean, don't you think like series against the Nationals? I mean, this you should take that momentum into the series, 3 games, sweep. Let's go,
dude. They need to win 5 out of the next 7.
You think they got 5 out of the next 7 in the bag? No,
but I just think
no. I mean, it's not crazy to think about. Again, 3 against Washington, you have a 4 game set in Chicago, White Sox. I mean, honestly, Matthew, like you're looking at 7 out of 7. Really? I know it. That's really hard. 3 games to sweep each, but obviously 5 out of 7 is great too. But I mean, with these 2 teams here back to back, and then you have a little bit of a gauntlet coming up in Houston, and then a homestand, Toronto, Detroit, and then you're back in Boston. You're going to really need these 7 games if you want to, obviously, make up some ground here for the wild card. And again, I mean, the division is not out of hand. I mean, I'm sitting here talking about the Mets beating the Phillies down to close the gap of 7 games. Yankees here, 5.5 games back of Toronto. With this series against Toronto coming up, I mean, this is, if you take 7 games, if you go on a 7-game win streak right now, Toronto maybe cools off. Maybe they have 5 out of 7. All of a sudden, that lead is cut down to 3, and then you're going into a series against them. I mean, I don't know, dude. I mean, I feel like that, the division is not out of hand for the Yankees, and honestly, obviously, the wild card is in hand right now. I mean, if you keep, I guess, your course, like you're going to be a wild card team, which is great.
Yeah, and then I got other news. I might be going to a Met game on Wednesday.
This Wednesday?
Yes.
Really, dude? I'm actually really jealous because that's going to be a Nolan McLean start, 7:00 Wednesday.
I'm wearing all red, baby. I'm going to get a red shirt, red baby, all red.
All right. Why are you going to a Mets game?
Because my mom got tickets and her friend couldn't go, so they might not be able to go. So,
and is your mom a Met fan?
My mom is a Met fan.
Really, dude?
I don't understand why. They looked terrible yesterday against the Braves. They looked like garbage.
You're not gonna. First of all, like, calm down. 2-3 against the Braves in Atlanta. Great job by the Mets. Nolan McLean, a guy you may see pitch on Wednesday. Awesome. Okay, dude. Back-to-back starts, back-to-back dialed in, getting the Mets victories. That's something to be hopeful about, young talent. But hold on now. So, like, what about, like, your mom's a Mets fan. How are you a Yankee fan? Why are you a Yankee fan?
Because I've always been a Yankee fan. I couldn't stand the Mets when I was younger.
Now. Your poor mother. You know what? Tell your mom to take me to the game. Okay, I'll go with her Wednesday night. We'll have a great time, dude. Okay, someone will not be dressed in all red, probably trying to bash the Mets here. I'll be rooting for the Mets. All right. So if she wants to change her mind and take me, you can tell her my Wednesday night wide open and let's go Mets. Okay, dude.
Go Phillies, baby.
Oh my gosh. All right. Before I hang up on you, what else do you got? You have anything else you want to talk about?
I just wanted to say that the Phillies have a chance to close this division if you guys don't win.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Yeah, that's right. I mean, anyone can tell you that. I said that actually at the top of the show.
What do you think's going to happen? I think they're going to get swept. I really do.
No, I don't think. I think sweeping any team is difficult. The Mets have done well against the Braves this year. Okay, I'll say that. Again, I mean, you don't love the pitching matchup tonight because you're relying on Senga. But tomorrow, though, I mean, Minaya hopefully puts together an okay start against Jesus Luzardo. He's not phenomenal. 4 ERA, I would put him up there with somewhere around Minaya, I guess. Probably better than Minaya, honestly. Then you get McLean on Wednesday, so against Walker. So I don't know. I feel like each game, to be honest, besides this game tonight, I feel like Tuesday and Wednesday is kind of a flip of a coin. So it could be like you take one game, could take 2 out of 3. But I said before, if they don't take at least 2 out of 3 against the Phillies here, They are definitely not playing for the division anymore, which is sad. But nonetheless, barring anything catastrophic, obviously. But regardless, I think I have okay chances of taking 2 out of 3 here. The Mets.
I think we're gonna get swept.
I know
really
what
do.
you think. Everyone knows what you think at this point. Okay. But in any case,
just look at the job that the Phillies manager has done with less talent that he's had in a while.
What are you talking about? Less talent. Bryce Harper is a premier player in the league. Kyle Schwarber is one of the greatest DHs to ever play. You got Trey Turner. Okay, you have a great rotation too. They got premier talent over there in Philadelphia. There is not a lesser team. All right, they're a great roster, and they're always very competitive for the division. So I don't know what you're smoking over there. Okay, dude. But I
thought the Mets had a great talent. I thought the Mets had great talent.
They do have great talent. I wasn't arguing. I didn't say that they didn't have great talent. No. You just said that the Phillies didn't have a talented roster, okay? And they do, all right? They have one of the better rosters around the MLB, okay? And honestly, dude, I'm happy you're going to the Mets game on Wednesday because you're going to see them win in person, and it's going to be sick, okay, dude?
No. I'm going to be wearing my red.
When's the last time you were at Citi Field?
I've never been to Citi Field.
Really?
Yeah, never.
All right, dude. Well, you're like, all right. Don't be rude here. You're gonna have a great time. It's a cool stadium. Chocolate chip cookie bucket. Okay, do it. All right. It's down at the 100 level section, somewhere near behind home plate, I think. Are you listening to me? Are you gonna get the bucket? Like, tell your mom $10. Give me a $10 bill, Mom, and then you go, and then you give him $10, and they give you a bucket of cookies, and it's awesome. Okay, and then I would probably also, I've been saying this, the egg roll area by Shake Shack, also really good. I'm sure they'll have like a Philly cheesesteak egg roll there because Philadelphia is in town. Okay, so I hope to hear from you, honestly, before Wednesday. I hope to hear about your experience after your game. I hope you go to the game. I really do. I hope your mom's friends can't make it, whatever's going on. I hope they're fine, but they can't make it. And then you guys go. Again, invite. If you want to bring me instead, that's totally fine. But I want to thank you for calling in, Matt. Always appreciate it, dude.
Before I go, I just want my mom's boyfriend told me, why am I even going? I bash the Mets every time I watch them. And I'm like, because Philly needs some fans in the crowd.
I don't think they do. Okay. And you know what? Your mom's boyfriend's right. Like, what the hell? Like, just go there, be like, yo, New York, let's go, dude. And then have a good time. Or not. You want to be there. You want to be tight. You want to be miserable. Just get the fucking cookies. All right, dude. Just get the cookies. All right.
All right. Go Yankees. Go Phillies. Let's go.
All right. Goodbye, Matthew.
Goodbye.
Matthew Ryan, everybody. Matthew freaking Ryan. Who the fuck is this guy? Says Kev Dude Taylor, another delusional Yankees fan. Matty Ice kick rocks, dude. I know, right? I mean, you know what? There'd be some people like me who would be grateful to be given Mets tickets, dude. Wednesday night, get to see Nolan McClain pitch. That's fucking sick, dude. Kev Dude, Riley, thanks for the fantasy win last week. I don't think Riley has checked his fantasy team since he drafted. And that's the God's honest truth right there.
Donovan Walter.
Tommy. Good morning. You're live on the Sportsport.
Can I introduce some sanity into
yeah, Tommy, what do you got?
I just have a totally different take on the Yankees win last night.
Okay.
It's like totally false hopes, to be honest. Like, you can't get mollywopped for 3 games in a row. Can't put up a run on, what was it, Saturday? We lost 1-0.
Yeah.
I was driving home from the firehouse, and in literally listening to Susan like gasp as they give up 7 runs in 1 inning. It's just abysmal. And to be like, oh, we didn't get swept. It's a 4-game home series against your rival. Oh yeah, you won the last game. Wonderful, good, great, grand.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're not wrong. Listen, I mean, obviously, like a lot of Yankees fans, I'm sure you included. I mean, you're not thinking you're going to drop 3 in a row at home in this 4-game set. And, I think a lot of people, Brian included, we're looking at it at a point to separate yourself between the Red Sox, gain some games in the Blue Jays. And also, like, I mean, I feel like a lot of the connotation or the thoughts about the Yankees is that they, don't do well against their divisional rivals this season, and also don't do well against just the better teams in general this season.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying, Tone, and the numbers don't lie. Their record against the AL East, not including Tampa, against the Astros, the Tigers, and the Blue Jays is awful. Their record against above 500 teams is bad. But it's also the eye test. I watch these games. I see, I don't like what I'm seeing.
Well, what's the biggest problem? Like, is it the defense? Is it the fundamentals? Are you just seeing like certain at bats that just look terrible? Like, what are you looking at that you're like, this is just hopeless?
The at bats have actually been good. Like, I mean, there are no more like Judge and Giancarlo like waving at low and away sliders. I mean, I didn't see Grisham having this type of an offensive year. Not the guy you thought you'd rely on, but I'll take it. It's like, yeah, it's the mentality. It's the lackadaisicalness. It's the aloofness, whatever you want to call it, not knowing where to throw, not knowing where you're at in the base path. Just all of that is what drives me nuts when I watch the games. It doesn't show up on paper.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's definitely been a topic of conversation, and a lot of that, like you said, aloofness. People do think it stems from Boone. I mean, people think it's funny quoting him all out in front of us, yada, yada, yada. We're Yankees. It's that, I feel like that's it's kind of like where the lack of, I guess, urgency is coming from, is what I would think. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, the next 7 games, I know Nationals, White Sox, like are you not anticipating though, like the Yankees to go on a little bit of a run, like winning 5 of the next 7 games against those 2 teams? Like,
yeah, no, I think you definitely stack some wins,
right,
in that column ledger. But that doesn't really tell me like you bet. First of all, you better, and if you don't, I mean, like your Mets had a rough series with the Nationals.
They lost, right? 2 out of 3. Yeah.
So it can happen. It's baseball. It's a long season. These teams are still professional players, but it's what's the Yogiism? It's getting late early.
Exactly. It's getting late early. And it's interesting because I mean, I feel like hearing Judge after this weekend, he kind of almost said that. He always had that mentality where it's like, it's not like it's like they're out of the race or anything, but it is kind of getting late in the season now at this point. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, don't you expect them to make a wild card spot? I mean, like, isn't that the?
Yeah, they're definitely going to creep in. They just have not shown me anything that would indicate that they can do damage against the upper echelon teams.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think maybe like Brian was kind of saying, it's like you just make it to the postseason. You just take it one game at a time. You get there. And then you kind of hope that, Stanton, becomes postseason Stanton. And then you kind of hope that Judge, for the first time in his career, starts to perform in that postseason as well. Consistently anyway, I should say. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think
even if it's not a crazy, he needs to have like that Yankee postseason moment. Really, what it comes down to. I'm not expecting to have like a Matsui World Series where he bats like 550. Like that's not reasonable to expect that of anybody.
Right.
So what do you think about your Mets going down the stretch here?
Oh God, dude. I mean, not gonna lie. I'm really worried about they're starting a series against the Phillies right now. Phillies are
the Phillies just bereft of talent, according to Matt Ryan.
No, yeah. Dude, they have a lot of talent. Obviously it's a shame. I don't know if you heard about Zach Wheeler, but he's out for the rest of the year.
That sucks. He was having a hell.
Listen, I mean, obviously I'm butthurt about the Mets letting him go. That's a Wilpon problem. I still, it was nice to see him do well, even though it was, I guess, in a Phillies uniform. But I mean, it does suck, even as someone who would wishes he was still on the team. Like, it does suck to see him not have to, not be able to finish out the season. The blood clot, the thoracic outlook syndrome, like that's crazy. It sucks. But obviously, it's good for, I guess, everyone else in the division. But nonetheless, dude, I mean, yeah, I'm definitely worried. I mean, these next 3 games against the Phillies, not only dictate if they take 2 out of 3 against you now, like that's like the divisional race is over. Like you're just playing for a wild card spot. I mean, it's absolute crunch time when it comes to that. And even so, I mean, 7 games is a lot, to make up in the next, 25, 27 games ish. So, I guess you're playing for a wild card spot. I suppose maybe I'm somewhere in the same ballpark as you, Tommy, with the Yankees, where I'm kind of expecting them to make the wild card, but to go in and to even play, if they play Milwaukee again, or to play Philadelphia, or play the Dodgers or San Diego. I mean, like, I don't think anything has really shown me that the Mets could put together a good series against one of these, powerhouse teams coming out of the NL. So, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm kind of thinking wild card, and maybe you can pull something together. You got McClain, obviously, who's been pitching well out of the minors. It seemed that they're maybe bringing up 1 or 2 other guys out of the minors. And that's, I guess, kind of what you have to rely on. Because, I mean, Senga is pitching tonight. He has not been great since coming back from injury, does not go the length. Same story with Minaya as well. That guy can't get past the 4th, 5th inning. So it's like the only pitcher you really have confidence in is Peterson as a starter.
Issue,
you go ahead.
It's not that your pitchers aren't good. It's that they do not go deep into games whatsoever.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's brutal because it's not like their lines aren't bad. It's like 4 2/3, 2 earned runs, but their pitch count is at 97, in the 5th inning. It's like you don't have any other, and then they're giving up hits, it's like they're 2 runners on. And it's like, what is Mendoza supposed to do? You have to go to your bullpen. And it's like, it's not necessarily that they're doing so much damage or getting damage dealt, but it's just the stars are just not giving you the length. So the bullpen is exhausted. You need extra pieces. Mendoza's constantly like merry-go-rounding these guys out of the bullpen. And on top of that, some of your bullpen pieces aren't doing very well. Soto's giving up runs. Ryan Helsley has not been great. He's had like maybe 2 or 3 good outings since coming over at the deadline. Static seems to be just absolutely lost on there. Garrett also is someone who hasn't really looked like what he looked like the first 2-3 months of the season since the All-Star break. So I think pitching, which, I mean, as we know, is such a premium in the postseason. The only thing I can maybe guess is that, they do play less games. They have the days off in between. You can rest bullpen arms. You can have starters. You can have bullpen guys coming out as openers, stuff like that. So maybe they can put something together that way. But I mean, like I said, I think I'm in the same boat where it's just like, I'm trying to be hopeful for a deep playoff run, but I mean, are they gonna make it to the championship series like they did last year? I don't know. It doesn't really feel like it. Like you said, I think some players need to have like their Met moments, obviously like Alonso off of Williams last year, like Lindor hitting that grand slam against the Braves, like people need that. And then maybe I can get some juice flowing. But until then, I guess we'll see. It's 1 game at a time. All right. 1 game at a time, Tommy.
That's it, buddy. Listen, I appreciate the time. Have a great show. I'll talk to you later.
Of course, dude. Have a great day, dude.
Peace, Tom.
Peace. Tommy, there we go, baby. Talking some sanity over here after the Matthew Ryan call. Wow, Kev Dew, there we go. Now that's a true Yankee fan. Kev Dew says this is a Mets Sportsport LMAO. I mean, yeah, I definitely have been enjoying the Mets talk for sure. And obviously the Yankee talk too. I mean, it is, it is, again, I know we sound like broken records over here, but the parallels between the Mets and Yankees seasons, I feel like are kind of like just uncanny, like the resemblance. And, they're fighting for wild card spots. And I guess kind of even to allude to it more, the feeling that Tommy and I both kind of share for our teams where it's like expecting the wild card berth, but that it's just like, oh man, like Yankees, Detroit, Yankees, Houston, Yankees, Boston, even. I don't know, dude. Same thing with the Mets. Mets, Padres, Mets, Dodgers, Mets, Phillies. God. And you get the Brewers in there. Brewers are going to be like I don't know, dude. It really is crazy how competitive now, especially now it's getting down the stretch. Chicago. And I know I'm kind of writing Cincinnati off, and maybe that's my fault. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. But I do think the Reds right now, let's look at let's look at the Reds schedule, okay? Because the Reds here, a game and a half behind the Mets. Oh, great. They're going to be in LA. Let's fucking go, dude. The Dodgers, have they been eating ass still, dude? Dodgers, 74-win team, feeling pretty good. Last 5 games, dropping 2 against the Padres, dropping 3 out of their last 5. Here, dropped against Colorado over there, dude. Not great. They swept the Padres, then dropped 2 out of 3 against them. They're so weird, streaky right now, dude. Inconsistent. Shohei, I guess he had a heckler. Getting tight. Swept by the Angels. Remember that, dude. So it's like the Dodgers right now need to sweep the Reds, dude. That's what we want here. Okay. Golly, dude. Hunter Green. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter, dude. All right, so the Reds have the Dodgers here. Let's go to the schedule. 3-game set in LA. Then they go back home against St. Louis. And then against Toronto at home. They have a 9-game homestand. And then they go on the road for 9 games. So 9-game homestand after LA, St. Louis, Toronto, the Mets. So, I mean, maybe St. Louis take 2 out of 3 here. Hopefully you drop 2 out of 3 against the Angels, right? So that's 4 out of 6. And then we'll say 5 out of 9. 6 out of 12. 6 and 12 in their next, 6 and 12. 6 and 12? 6 out of 12 is what I'm saying. Right? So they'll be 6 and 6. 3, 6, 9, 12. That's like, in my head, that was like kind of like a best case scenario. No. It doesn't matter. Right? 6 and 6. Hold on. 12 games. You win what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 and 7. Which, like, doesn't sound great, 5 and 7. You want it to be worse. That made me feel better. But we'll see. Hopefully they lose. Fuck the Reds, honestly. Cincinnati. They're just not. Come on. Give me a break here. In any case, a lot that we talked about here. A lot more to get to, I guess. I don't know, dude. More around there. The Tommy call, I guess, maybe. I can write down there. Taking down some notes, dude. George walking in. What's up? Good morning, George. George from upstairs. George is a good guy. No, what the fuck was I going to write down? Sorry. Stand by. 57 action. And then we're going to get to it, dude. Why not, dude? This is the 103 spot. And we'll do the frenzy. Let's go, people. It's Monday, okay? It's the MLB. It's Tony Solo in the studio. It's
the beer in the bat.
That's fucking right, Brian. And it's another edition of the MLB Frenzy, baby. You're here. We pick 'em. I pick 'em. You listen. You trail the picks. And then you yell at me when they don't fucking hit tomorrow morning, okay? That's what we do. All right, so let's go now. Monday. A lot of games here today. Easy 12-pack, dozen games, whatever. Let's go to it. Let's go to the Mets. Let's go to the Phillies. Let's go to Citi Field. Starting off this series Monday, over under 7.5 here. Your New York Mets are plus 115, and you have Mr. Senga toeing the slab. I mentioned Senga. I know you're going to be about 2.58 ERA. He must be great all year long. What? Since back from injury, not good. You need a lot more out of him. The most ever right now, here and now. But again, I mean, you don't have that confidence, okay? You want to lean on your offense. You want to come in here, and like I said, Senga early on, solo home run in the first inning. You're down 1-0. He figures it out. Some strikeouts. But I'm saying right now, I'm thinking 5 2/3. 3 earned runs, 7 or 8 Ks, 3 walks, a 99 pitch count at that point, okay? Not giving the length you need, but hey, I'm just trying to be realistic here, all right? So he leaves the game, not good, hanging, okay, dude? But Sanchez, maybe you got to him. Maybe in the 4th inning, you saw a Lindor solo shot, okay? And maybe in the 6th inning, comes in here, gets knocked around a little bit, leadoff double, Taylor in the 7th here, okay? 7th inning, follow me here. I said it before. And then bottom half of the lineup, maybe a Torrens strikes out. Lindor, top half of the lineup, gets through the gauntlet, 2-run blast, second of the day for Lindor. And then you get Alonso, Soto, back-to-back hits, Vientos, bases clearing triple. Who knows, dude? All of a sudden you get Beatty bringing home, sack fly, end the inning. They had pulled Sanchez. Okay, dude, you're into their bullpen. Sanchez out early. You feel good. You tie the game at that point. It's 4-4. And then let's fucking go, dude. I'm going to say walk off, bottom of the 9th. Pete Alonso, 2-run homer off of it. Doesn't matter. Who cares? It's Alonso winning this game. They win this game 6-4. Give me the Mets. Give me the over. And give me a dub here to start the week for the Metropolitans. Bang. And I'm like, about to toss to Brian over here. Brian's out here. Back to you. Back to me, dude. Let's go next game here. I know I'm betting with the heart now. Never do it, but it's going to be right. Okay, dudes? Let's do it. Cincinnati. Okay? Late game. 10:10 p.m. LA. Dodger Stadium. Fuck the Dodgers. Doesn't matter, though. 74-win team. Who's on the mound for them? Emmett Sheehan. Who the fuck is that? 41 innings pitched here. 4.17 ERA. 5 home runs given up over those innings pitched, but 44 strikeouts given. Huzzah. Hunter Green towing the sled for them. I could honestly see this game maybe going a little bit of the distance for both pitchers. Over-under is 7.5, which I think is a little light. I can see Hunter Green, maybe 5, scoreless, 6th inning, gives up a couple. His final line, 6 innings, 2 earned runs with the 7th, 8th, and 9th. The late-night Dodgers where they come to play here. Comeback victory here as well for the Dodgers. Maybe they're down 4-2. Maybe they're down 3-2. Keeping it tight. They come back. I'm going to say they win 4-3, actually. Okay, dude? Freddie Freeman in the 8th inning. 2-run homer. 4-3. Get the save. Dodgers under for my second pick here. And we're going to go third pick. Final pick here. I know the Yankees are out there. The Nationals wide open. Schlittler pitches well. Excuse me. And I guess, dude. I mean, Brandon Woodruff, though, with the Milwaukee Brewers, 81 team, absolutely outstanding. Okay, dude, the guy has not missed a beat really since he started coming back from injury. They're starting against the Mets. We know Pittsburgh 4 innings, though, no earned runs, but Chicago 4 1/3, 3 earned runs. It's like, are you taking Woodruff? Are you taking the Brewers over the fucking D-backs? No, dude. We're sticking with the New York flavor. Why not? Schlittler, Nationals. I mean, writing is on a wall here. I know Tommy Donovan in the back of his head, in the back of my head, the Mets dropping 2 out of the last 3. 2 out of 3 against the Nationals. You're thinking, but come on. Yankees bouncing back a little bit. You did score 7 runs. You're still at home. Maybe there's some revitalizations happening here. And Brad Lord, 3-4-6, 96 1/3 innings pitched here. Not bad for the young buck there out of Florida. But, I mean, it's Yankees. I know he's from Florida. I grew up a Yankee fan. Who knows? Gets popped. Schlittler, solid, quality start. 6 innings, 3 earned runs. Dialed New York 5. Nationals 3. Yankees under. Book it. Bang. That was your MLB Frenzy, brought to you by the Hirsch Law Firm, dude. That's great, dude. That is great. Just checking here. Happy birthday, Angelo. TCA, baby. Let's go, dude. A lot of happy birthdays coming on. Is it just happy birthday, dude? Happy birthday. Mike and Matt at Piqua. Whoa, happy birthday. Wow, a lot of birthdays going on. I see Josh B all in the chat. Whoa, dude. Let's freaking go. Yeah, I know. Sorry, I gotta mute that, John. And then yeah, I guess just see any comments. Kev do, no thank you. I guess let's do it, dude. All right. I know. Not many people in the chat here. We got Kev do. But we gotta do it. Let's strike up the music back up again. Yeah, dude. Okay. Oh. All right, so let's share it. Aroldis Chapman. Now we'll see what we got going on here. So I can share it with you folks here at home, dudes. Bang. Let's get going here. All right, dude. We have the grid. We're gonna go Yankees, Boston. We're gonna do Bart for Bartolo Colon. Yankees, Boston. Always do Bart. I feel like Bart 0.4. Let's fucking go, baby. That's a fan favorite of Brian Barnaby for Red Sox, Yankees, dude. Third base. Yankees. Donaldson. We don't. How do we do Josh Donaldson for A's third base? Let's do Josh Donaldson for A's third base. Bang. 9%. That's fine. Okay. So I had an idea for the Yankees. Jose Caballero, baby. Bang. Making up for it with the 0.2. Let's freaking go, dude. Played third base, 100 RBI season. We'll put that in the back burner. Actually, you know what? We'll hold the phone now because we can do A's Boston. We could do A's Boston. All right. I think I got anyone? No one in the comments, dude. So I think I got chess moves right now. Chess moves. Okay, dude, thinking a game ahead. Because we can do Diekman. We can do Diekman for both of these. And we're going to go Diekman, which we've literally used every fucking day. Jake Diekman. Bang! 100 RBI season for the Kansas City. I mean, dude, just go Eric Hosmer. I feel like that would be a lot, though. But what is a lot at this point? But see, this is where I was thinking chess moves. Because we can do Chad Bradford. Okay? The fucking Moneyball man. After Oakland, where's he? He goes to Boston because they picked up the same thing, Billy Bean, and it's Brad Pitt, and it's Jonah Hill, and it's 0.3 for Chad Bradford. And then KC Yankees, which really could have done it for any one of these. Let's do Rich Hill. All right. Rich Hill, baby. Nobody ever thinks of Rich Hill. Bang. 2%. Mofo. I'm back. Josh B says, let's see. Okay, so we're down to the 100 RBI seasons. I got to take this out, dude. The Bluetooth, check it out. 100 RBI seasons. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure for Boston, 100 RBI season, we've done Babe Ruth before. Kansas City's really what I would need help with, to be honest, because I feel like Eric Hosmer is the only one I can really think of right now. Let's do Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth. The Babe. Bang! 1% for the Babe. People don't know. Red Sox first. Yankees second. And then, I mean, do we just go Hosmer? Do we go David Wright? I feel like the RBI thing, right? I mean, it's just a little Met flavor action. David Wright. 3%. Let's go, David Wright. David Wright, multiple RBI seasons. Hosmer, Perez. Danny Tartable coming out of left field. This is going to be good now. Let's go, Danny Tartable. Boom, 2%. When I get 18. Let's go, dude. Thank you, Josh B. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was a good one, dude. And I feel like it's so funny because it's like I forget who, somebody, maybe it was, I forget who was like, oh, someone's like, oh, dude, you're doing great with the grids. And it's like, I don't know, dude. It's just not that. I figure it's kind of like, I don't know, like Jake Diekman, Rich Hill. That's like half the league, you know? But great job, Josh. Great job, me. Great job, us. Great job, everybody here. Danny Tartable, that was awesome. Definitely would not have gotten that. But in any case, great job. Okay. Jose Caballero. Bart also. Bart, Rich Hill, Diekman, Brad Hand. You have every fucking team covered with those 4 players. And the rest, fill in the blanks. You can figure it out. And I feel like those guys too, like nobody, like every single time I've used Jake Diekman, it's been less than 1%. Okay. But in any case, though, I'm glad that everyone came in here. I'm glad that we did the whole show. I got the hour and a half in there. Josh B with the hearts. Josh B, I hope you get everything you ever want in life all the time. It's gonna be fucking sick, dude. In any case, though, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back here again tomorrow. Same deal. Solo Tony, low in the chair, lean back. And we're gonna have another good show, dude. Hopefully another good grid. Hopefully recapping a couple New York wins from the baseball. Busy day today, dude. Fairfield men's soccer, Sacred Heart, classes in session. Going here after I edit, dude. It's gonna be pretty big. Big deal, huge deal. Figure it out, dude. Maybe PB&J for lunch. Which is honestly, dude, like I'm fucking just a PB&J right now sounds so good. But I thank you guys for tuning in here. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, egg flips, Downtime TV, all channels. YouTube's a big one. Notifications so you don't miss anything. Big week coming up here for the boys here at Downtime. Mike's working on the Terrificon vlog. That's going to be a 6. Stay tuned for that. Obviously, Gaming Corner this week. Maybe if we get to a movie, maybe we'll do a little impromptu binge buddies. Who knows? But I'm stoked. I'm stoked for the shows this week. Toasted PB&J. You know what? I wasn't thinking about toasting it, Josh, but now you got me thinking about toasting it, dude. So I may even do that, dude. When you fucking toast it and just the peanut butter just starts to melt. And I like a lot of jelly. I like the fucking jelly. You know what I'm saying, dude? The Smuckers, baby. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, hope you really enjoyed the episode. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Let's go Mets. Let's go Yankees too. All right, dude. Sans Brian, whatever, dude. But if the 2 New York wins, let's get back in here healthy on time tomorrow. Some fucking dubs. Let's go. Subscribe, Downtime, and we will see you mañana. Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do.